Hey, good morning, everyone. Hey, how are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wilds coming live to you from Houston, Texas. This inspirational morning walk for first-time listeners to just get some exercise in the morning and share my thoughts with you guys. Hey, but for the past month, I was working. I got a project I'm working on, so I wasn't able to walk in the mornings as I would like. But I'm gonna still share the word that I have for you guys, man. And I know over the last, just remember, we can go on YouTube if you miss anything. If something I'm talking about that's a follow up on what we did before, everything is posted on YouTube there. And you could go back and find, um, something that there can bless you. We got over 200 and something of these little talks there. So you can find something there. If you're on there, you haven't subscribed, you can just subscribe. You see the word subscribing written in red. Just click on that, and when it changed color, your subscription went through. You could either look up Gregory Wilds. If you go into YouTube, just look up my name, Gregory Wilds, at Wyles. Or when I share the link throughout the day, you can click on that and it will take you straight to that. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Hope you're having a great day. Hey, okay, so we're talking about this end of year fast that I'm promoting because I know coming up there, New Year's Eve or Old Year's Day, as we say in the Caribbean, they got a lot of church services. You get a nice service, depends on which church you go to pump you up, give you a nice high to go into the new year, tell you, give you seed. The more you give, the more God gonna bless you in the new year. And, you come out there all pumped and psyched. You're going, make all these resolutions, and then you're back to square one after 2 weeks within the year. You're going back doing the same things you're doing. So we want to take a different look at things, take a different approach. That's why I'm encouraging this end of year fast, right? Because in Matthew 17:21, where God said, this kind goeth out only by prayer and fasting. Remember, the guy had a lunatic spirit, and the disciples couldn't get it out, and Jesus get it out, and he asked Jesus, said, why we couldn't heal this guy? Jesus said, well, this kind only go without by prayer and fasting. So some of the things we're dealing with, we can only get the breakthrough by prayer and fasting, right? So some of the things, that's why sometimes you get your new resolutions, you're trying to break some habits, you're trying to get some breakthrough in certain area, you're dealing with certain type of sickness, certain type of problems in your family, and it's not going, you're praying, you're giving money, people telling you give this, sow the seed, and it's not getting any help. You got the whole church praying for you and you're not getting any breakthroughs. Sometimes you need to pray and fasting for some things you're going through. So I look quickly at Queen Esther here in the book of Esther. Go and read the book of Esther. It's a short book, but we got a lot to learn from that story from Queen Esther, how she used this protocol of prayer and fasting to get some results, which was life and death results, right? I don't know if you remember the story with Queen Esther when the king um, had his banquet, and long story short, them guys like to display the wealth, and the queen is Vashti. She did not want to come to, show for him to show her off in front of his guests. And Husband Smith, good morning, sir. Good morning. So, long story short, this man advised him, no, this is total disrespect to the kingdom. You can't encourage this. You got to get her out of there, and then to look for all the virgins in the area, and for the king to choose another king, right? Not queen, king to choose another queen. Long story short, Esther was chosen, which was a Jew, and she got in there. Her uncle Mordecai, who had heard about the decree and sent her, and then anyhow she become the queen. Long story short, go and read it. It's a nice story, but it got a lot to learn about it, right? So because God positioned her, because he know what's gonna happen. God positioned her in a position because he know what about to come down. That's what I'm saying. God know the plans what the enemy have for us and all the tricks in the new year, and he gonna position us in certain position. But we got to do certain things. Got a law of manifestation is a human being agreeing with the spirit. When you pray, that's what you're doing. You're agreeing with the Spirit. You're agreeing with the Word of God. You're agreeing with God. You're giving him permission to do things on your behalf. Likewise, the people on the demonic side, they praying to their demonic gods, and that's how they doing the wickedness. So the law of manifestation, for you bring something from the spiritual realm to this realm here, is a human being got to agree with the Spirit. Because remember, only human beings run things on this earth. No spirit is legal. We got to give them permission, right? So let's look at Queen Esther's story here. And so what I'm going to pick it up from, this guy, Haman. Haman was like the right-hand man for the king. King keep promoting him. But this guy named Mordecai, this is like a cousin of Queen Esther. And he just didn't like this guy at all. He didn't like her. This guy never used to bow to him and all that, what everyone used to do. So he developed a deep hatred for this guy. I can't finish the story today, but we're going to probably look at how hatred can destroy your life. When you hate someone, how it can destroy your life with this guy, Haman, right? But Haman decide I can get this guy Mordecai. I'm going to get him. So I know he's a Jew. So he go and cook up this story to the king and say, hey, let's get rid of all the Jews. He say, you got this group of people who got their own beliefs. Sherry Bailey, good morning. Who got his own beliefs and they don't believe in you, so let's kill these people, right? He go and cook up this story. The king said, okay. King trusts him. King signed the decree. You know, when the king signed a decree, you really can't change it back like that, right? So I can pick it up from there when this decree went out and to kill all the Jews, right? So I can pick it up from 1 Esther 7. All right, Esther 4:7. So Mordecai told the whole story, including the exact amount of money Haman had promised to pay the royal treasury for the destruction of the Jews. So Haman told the king, man, you do this, I'm going to put X amount of money, into the treasury. I'm going to give this amount of money if you sign this decree to destroy the Jews. Because you really want to get to this guy Mordecai, because this guy, he just developed this hatred for this guy, right? So Mordecai attach a copy of the decree issued in Susa that called for the death of the Jews. He asks, attached to show it to Esther. I hope I'm not butchering the name. I think so. To Esther and explain the situation to her. He also asks the guy to direct her to go to the king to beg for mercy and plead for her people. So he returned to Esther with Mordecai's message. So Mordecai, which is Esther's cousin, he said, man, you got to go to the king and beg for our lives here because all of us is going to die. All of us are going to die. He showed her the decree, what the king sent out. He said, you got to go and beg the king. Then Esther told the guy to go back and relay this message to Mordecai. He said, all the king's officials and even the people in the province know that anyone who appears before the king in the inner courts without being invited is doomed to die. Right? Unless the king hold out his golden scepter, and the king has not called for me to come into him for 30 days. So the guy gave Esther a message to Mordecai. So Esther said, Mordecai, you crazy? No one can just roll up on the king like that and go into the inner courts. He got to invite them in by holding out this golden scepter in his hand. That's when you get invitation to come in. You just don't go in. So if you just walk in the king like that without being invited, you're going to die. Mordecai, you know this. So he asking me to do. So here Mordecai said now. Mordecai sent this reply to Esther. Don't think for a moment that because you're in the palace, you will escape you will escape when all the other Jews are killed. So Mordecai said, you better remember you're a Jew. So this decree is saying to kill you too, just because the king don't know you're a Jew, but you're a Jew. So this decree is to kill you also. So you better do something. So if you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place, but you and your relatives will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just a time as this. And guys, that's what I'm saying. God knows when this decree was coming. He got the queen to act up so she can lose her position. He put Esther in place for this time like this, to save the Jews, right? So God got you in position right now to do something. Thing you praying for, he have you in position, but you got to do your part. You got to do your part. He done his part to have you in position, have you line up, have the right people in your path, have you where you need to be, but you got to do your part to make this stuff happen now, right? I tell you, nothing happened by chance. So you're probably in the right spot where you need to be for the breakthrough to happen in your life right now. Everything is for the ground is fertile. You just have to pour the water on it now, right? So let's see how this go on. Then Esther sent this reply to Mordecai after she get the message. The man said, look, you better do something. Who knows? Maybe this is the reason why God put you in there as a queen. So, okay, she decided, how am I going to do this now? Then she remembered the protocol where I'm trying to give you right now. Then Esther sent this reply to Mordecai. Go and gather together all the Jews of Susa and fast for me. Esther knows she needs something supernatural done. Esther knows what she's going to do is life and death either way. If she just roll up on the king without being invited, the penalty for that is death. If she don't do anything, her whole nation, all the Jews will die. But Esther gonna follow this protocol to get extra spiritual backup and get favor from God. And that's why I'm trying to encourage people to this end of the year to get the favor and get a backup for the new year. She said, go and gather all the Jews of Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days. That's where the famous 3 days dry fast come in from. Right? Do not eat or drink for 3 days. 3 days, night or day. She tell them, don't eat nor drink. We fasting for 3 days. My maids and I will do the same. And then, though it is against the law, hear what she's saying, though it is against the law, I will go in to see the king. If I must die, I must die, because either way is death. If she don't do anything, she will die because she's a Jew. She better take the chance and go in and roll up on the king, and if he don't accept her, she's going to die, because either way is death. So she follow this protocol. She tell everybody to fast for her, and she and her maids is going to fast also. Then she can go in. Though it's against the law, she can go in and she got to talk to the king quick before this day come for the execution of the Jews. So Mordecai went away and did everything as Queen Esther have ordered him. So let's go to Esther 5 now. Esther 5. On the 3rd day of the fast, Esther put on a royal robe and entered the inner court of the palace, just across from the king's hall. The king was sitting on his royal throne facing the entrance. When he saw Queen Esther standing there in the inner court, he welcomed her. And that's normally what would have happened. Anybody coming to the inner court without being invited would have been put to death, even the queen. But he welcomed her and held out his golden scepter to her. I mean, he gave her permission to come in, even though she entered there without the permission. She's supposed to wait outside to get that when he point the scepter at her, then come in, but she went in. So Esther approached and touched the end of the scepter. I mean, she accepted the invitation. Then the king asked her, what do you want, Queen Esther? What is your request? I will give it to you, even if it is half the kingdom. I don't want to go on too long, but I'm just trying to show you the power of a fast. The power of the fast. Queen Esther, it was against the law for anybody to go in the king, but she had to act and act quick. She went on and she tell everybody to fast for her. That's what fasting does, and I'm surprised more churches don't push fasting. This is a protocol for you to get things that wouldn't normally happen. You can get the Lord to work on your behalf. I lost internet. Yes, okay, the internet is back. Sorry about that. It was paused. The enemy can try everything for me to don't give you this message. But yes, guys, so this fast is this protocol where you can use to get stuff done. Okay, so you probably, just like Queen Esther, being positioned, being given a certain platform right now. Maybe the job, the big job you got a big voice. If you got a right now that you need to use, you're in position to